Joyce, 500 appearances in total for your career in the league and making it against Exeter City tomorrow. How proud are you?
Yeah, massively proud. Proud just to get sort of one professional appearance, under my belt from when I started off many years ago. But to get 500 league games, very proud. It shows consistency of playing. Obviously, managers have picked me. I've had plenty of managers throughout my career, so obviously I've done enough to be selected and to play that amount of league games. At the age of 32, then yeah, I'm proud of it. Yeah.
Just take you back a few years now, all the way back to your debut. I believe you made it against Leeds United in the FA Cup. Not a bad competition to make your debut in, and not a bad club to face either.
No, definitely. It was live on Sky Sports as well, FA Cup replay. Every young lad wants to play in the FA Cup. You see it on telly plenty of times at Wembley in the FA Cup final. So to make my debut in that, for a club like Wigan, who were in the Premier League at the time, it was fantastic, and obviously it was live on television, and it finished in a penalty shootout, so that added to the drama of it and the excitement. But yeah, massively proud to do that, and also to go strength to strength from then and rack up the appearances.
As a teenager back then, could you envision yourself making this many league appearances in your football career?
Possibly not. I don't think you think that too far ahead. You just want to play the next game, and at that time I was in and around the first team. I just wanted to train with them and be involved with them as much as I can, and then obviously I came to left Wigan, and it's just about playing and playing men's football and getting appearances under your belt and going from there.
A couple of loan spells as well during your time after the likes of Wigan and Carlisle and that. Barrow you went to, Northwich, Victoria. How important were those loan spells for you in terms of grounding you and building you up for men's football?
Yeah, they were massive. I think when you play in the league, you can turn your nose up a little bit at non-league and the conference, and that was a real eye-opener for me at the time. And I wasn't playing regular at Carlisle, so I went down to Barrow. We had a good little cup run there as well. But yeah, it makes you realise how lucky you are to be in the league, and it's a real tough standard down there. And there's guys battling there for their jobs and their livelihoods, and it made me appreciate what I had at Carlisle, and then went to Northwich, and to be honest, that was vital, because I think that's where Accrington saw me play. And at the end of that season I left Carlisle, and Accrington had seen me play at Northwich and offered me a contract on the back of that. So if I'd not had gone to Northwich at that time and played a couple of months there on loan, then Accrington move may never come about.
And Accrington, a club that you made a couple of hundred appearances for, and moving on to Carlisle once again, and here we are at Port Vale. Are there any highlights during those 500 league appearances that really stand out for you?
Plenty of highlights. In terms of the league games, getting in the playoffs with Accrington and Carlisle was a big achievement. Just a shame we could never kind of get over that final hurdle and actually get promoted. And I'd be chuffed to have a promotion on my CV. It's something I've not got, and I've still got time to do that. So I'd love to do that. But yeah, loads of highlights. There's been plenty of ups and downs along the way, and being at Carlisle and playing away at Liverpool in the cup and taking them to penalties was a surreal night. And obviously my debut at Wigan and playing at Ellen Road live on Sky was brilliant. So plenty of fantastic memories.
We'll talk about the difficulties in your career as well, because I think a lot of people think because footballers are in this industry, earn a bit of money as well, they think everything else is easy to cope with, but it's not. What sort of difficulties have you experienced during your career?
There's been plenty. I think being footballer, being a footballer is tough, and I think obviously fans see the 5-10% of that, which is on a Saturday afternoon, but it's all the hard work that goes through the week, and it's the ups and downs that it brings. It's a 12-month contract, living year to year, not knowing if this is a job going to be there at the end of the season, and it can be tough, that side of it, and the mental side of it, and yeah, it's not easy. It's not all glitz and glamour that people think it is, especially at our level in League Two. And I had 6 years at Accrington, which is a fantastic club, and it was tough at that time. They were struggling financially. You're training on school fields with day to day. You're training somewhere different. We went a couple of weeks without being paid on time. You don't know when the money's coming. All that adds up, and it's not easy, and it then affects you then psychologically, then going into games and into training if you're not being paid on time, and if you're struggling to pay your bills and this, and I've never on massive money in League Two anyway, and it's a fantastic job, and I'm privileged to do what I do, and but like I said, it's not necessarily always the glitz and glamour that people think it is.
To help you through those difficulties, you've got a fantastic family that obviously support you. Two wonderful children. How important have they been for you?
Yeah, massive. I think, you know, not just my family now that I've got who are huge in terms of my wife Emily and my little girl Eva and Ralph, and you know, after if you've had a bad Saturday afternoon, you go home to them, they kind of put a smile back on your face. Really, you know, that disappointment can take over your weekend, and you know, you try and go home and not take out on your family, so you need them there just to take your mind off it a little bit. And you know, the sacrifices I have to make then impacts on their lives as well. And you know, there's plenty of stuff they have to do on a Saturday without Daddy because he's playing, or you know, like tomorrow, travelling down to Exeter, you're away for a couple of days and things like that. It impacts on them and your life at home, and you know, also going back to growing up, and obviously your mum and dad found you around everywhere playing football, and that impacted on me. My two sisters, because they probably couldn't do what they wanted to do because Dad was taking Luke to football and we only had one car, and that was that. So you know, there's been massive influences on my life and career so far, and none more so than my family really.
When you look back on your career, is it one of those moments where you think about, I remember my first pair of football boots that were ever bought for me, I remember my first Sunday league game, stuff like that?
Yeah, I remember all that. You know, I was lucky to play in a really good Sunday league team who won trophies and leagues and cups and stuff, and it's just a shame that kind of none of them have gone on to have a career, because there were some good footballers. And you know, you think back of, you know, my debut and where I was sort of 12, 13, 14 years ago, just starting out of the game, and you know, I kind of wish maybe you put a little bit more into it then. Probably wasn't as professional then as what I am now, but it's, you know, you learn all this by going throughout your career, and you know, I've been lucky to be in the game as long as I have, and play the amount of games I have, and albeit at League Two and not at maybe the highest level or the level I wanted to play at, but you know, I'm lucky to have done that, and I'm fortunate to, you know, be coming to Port Vale every day training and playing football.
You're 32 years old, still got plenty of years left in the tank. You're playing regularly, playing consistently, and you seem to be really enjoying that role in the midfield three here at Port Vale. Just how much are you enjoying your time here?
Yeah, it's been great. I think especially this season, it's been fantastic so far. Obviously working with the gaffer and Dave and Pewee, Dan, Ronnie, all the staff are brilliant. Make it a great environment to work in. You know, look forward to coming in every day really, training hard, preparing for the games, and I think the way we play and how we want to play suits me. Getting onto the ball, the formation, you know, we've got pace in wide areas and throughout the team really, so maybe that makes up for my lack of pace really, I suppose. But yeah, we've got some good lads and a real good group of players and a good group of staff, and I'd like to think we're trying to play football the right way, and the fans appreciate that and are enjoying it, and hopefully we can keep that going throughout the season, and who knows where we can finish.
And you joined the club, it's safe to say, a difficult time. I think you experienced the management change, players coming in and out, a new ownership, so you've certainly seen your fair share already in a short space of time. Just talk to me about those difficulties last year, because as I said, it was a bit of a strange season, wasn't it?
Yeah, I found it tough. Like you say, the club was a bit up and down, and probably didn't realise that as I came into the club. But at the same time, personally, probably didn't put in the performance I would like to have done. Maybe didn't play as well as I should have done. I expected myself to, and obviously went into Christmas, and I think before the game Boxing Day, I'd not played a minute in 7 games, and spoke to Neil at the time and kind of asked if I could not necessarily leave, but find, you know, football elsewhere, if it was a loan or whatever permanently. And I think that's probably the first time I'd ever had a conversation like that with a manager, because wherever I've been, I've played regular, and you know, I found it frustrating, and I wasn't particularly enjoying it. So obviously then you take that home, and it was affecting life at home a little bit as well, and you're getting a little bit of stick on social media and all this stuff. It does impact you, impacts your game, impacts your sort of home life as well. So I spoke to Neil, and just to see if there was a possibility if I could go out on loan and get some games, and he agreed. He was happy with that, and obviously nothing came of it, because I think a few days later he put me back in the team at Lincoln, and on New Year's Day, and we got a decent result that way, and I kind of in the team then ever since. And obviously new gaffers come in, and I've started pretty much every game since he's been involved, so yeah, I'm really enjoying it now.
When you look at this season, the start of this season compared to last season, it's sort of chalk and cheese. We've already got a couple of wins under our belts, really good win against Bloom for the weekend, Forest Green and Cambridge. And we see yourself, you really enjoy the celebrations at the end. You can see it means a lot to you, not only for the club but for your own personal self as well, isn't it? Yeah,
definitely. I think when you grind a 1-0 win out, especially at the weekend against a good team, and a team who's fancied to do well, and you keep that clean sheet, and probably not many people would have backed us Saturday really, so you take that extra joy and that extra celebration. And I think in the fashion we won it, with the 3 lads going off injured in the space of half an hour, and people probably wouldn't have backed us even more to go and get 3 points against a team like Plymouth. But I think you've got to enjoy them moments, and like we said, out of 500 games, I'm 32 now. I want to savour as many moments as I can, and it's nice to share that with the fans and for them to see how much it means to us as players.
Now, what are the plans for the future of Luke Joyce? Obviously, like we said earlier, still got a few more years left in the tank of playing football, but have you thought about your post-football career in terms of management? Because we know you're running a really successful academy or training sessions for younger footballers, aspiring footballers. Do you see yourself becoming a manager in the future?
I don't know. I think you kind of never say no, but it's one of them things. You can't necessarily go to college and do a course to be a football manager. I think it's an opportunity that sometimes presents itself, and it's up to that individual then to either take it or turn it down. Obviously, if that opportunity did come up, depending on the environment and the club, then yeah, I'd probably go for it. But at the same time, I wouldn't say my sole ambition now is to be a football manager. I see how ruthless it is, and you want to find something where you've got maybe a little bit of security, and I think football sometimes doesn't always offer that. But if an opportunity presents itself, then obviously it'd be hard to turn down. But I think I want to be in football. It's what I've known all my life, and I think I want to use all that experience and put it to good use, and that's what I'm trying to do with my academy now, and help out young players in my local area.
And just finally from me, you look set to make your 500th appearance tomorrow evening against Exeter away. A nice long journey on a Tuesday evening. It can't come much sort of better than that, can it? Exeter away on a Tuesday night for your 500th appearance.
I think that pretty much sums up my career. That League 2 Tuesday night away to Exeter, probably raining as well, so I'll take that. I'm used to that, and to get 500 league games is a really proud moment. Hopefully there's still many more to come. And
hopefully we can pick up our first away win of the season and put Exeter to their first defeat of the season.
Definitely, I think the top of the league, they're a good team, they're up there for a reason, but we fancy ourselves. We've got a good group of lads, good coaching staff, and we'll be have the fully belief we can go there and get points, and Luke Joyce goal, we won't miss either.